A top LA Democrat resigns after saying racist comments. And is Ricky Gervais going to host the 2023 Golden Globes? All that and more here on The Bald Brad Show. Welcome to The Bald Brad Show. It is Tuesday, October 11th, and as always, I couldn't be happier than to kick these mornings off right, doing The Bald Brad Show and hanging out with all of you, my friends and true American patriots, where we come together as a community of conservatives and Republicans. We go over the stories of the day and bring in all the news and information you need to know about. So if you want to join us here at The Bald Brad Show and you haven't done so, hey, hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you. If you're over at Rumble, hit the plus and give us a comment down below. And if you're listening on any of the podcast airwaves, Apple, Google, Spotify, heck, folks, you can find us and listen to us anywhere and everywhere. Leave us a lovely 5-star review. Not only would you be helping a conservative, but most importantly, you'd be supporting getting conservative thought and ideas out there to new viewers who haven't seen our content or our channel. So your help and support would be greatly appreciated. Again, make sure that like button is clicked. The YouTube algorithm really loves it. Leave us a nice comment down below on how you are all doing. And furthermore, double check to make sure that bell notification icon's clicked so you're notified whenever we upload, which is Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Supernatural Saturdays and a sprinkling of politics on Sunday. So be notified when we upload by hitting that bell notification icon. Now today is going to be a little bit of a shortened episode. Many of you know that I am still sick. I'm recovering from a nice little cough here. So we took some cough medicine. We have some cough drops. We should be good for the next 15, 20 minutes or so. We will see. But I'm still congested, so bear with me here, folks. To give you a little recap of what's going on in the world, Putin still in Ukraine, bombing the heck out of it because he's pissed that Ukraine blew up one of his bridges as a birthday present for him. So he's all up in arms. Joe Biden's poll numbers are plummeting, folks. In the top 10 issues that Americans find important, the guy's less than 50%. So it's not shocking that's happening because, hell, the guy's doing a terrible job of running this country. You don't have to look very far on any issue to find that he's running it terribly. But it's still amazing how there's some people, like in the 46%, that are still willing to vote for this guy and they think that he's doing a good job. I mean, who are those 46% and how can we get them out from under a rock? Am I not right? What is going on? Illegal immigration still an issue. Joe Biden's still flying them under the dark of the night, still breaking numbers. Eric Adams just the other day is all up in arms, pulling like a state of emergency because he can't handle 17,000 illegal immigrants in the city of New York that has a population of millions. He can't handle 17,000, but they expect Arizona, Florida, Texas, these border states here that handle illegal immigrants to sit there and handle 17,000 a day. So when the push comes to shove, they can't handle it. They can't deal with it, which just shows their governance and how bad it is. But hey, people are still going to vote for him, folks. People will still vote for all those people. We just talked about Gavin Newsom wanting to run in 2024. That guy sucks as a governor, and he wants to run for president. I don't know what it is with these politicians that the second they suck at something, like they just drive a state right into the ground, that they decide, oh, you know, I'm going to run for president. This is great. I.e. Kamala Harris was running for president before, if you recall. Now she's vice president. Look, she was senator of California. She sucks. Okay, can you imagine? That's like Lori Lightfoot of Chicago running for president. Just a crime-ridden area, just disgusting, people fleeing, businesses fleeing, all that happening in Democrat-ran areas. But hey, you know what? They're going to run in 2024 against Joe Biden, supposedly. We will see. So let's jump into kind of some interesting news here. It's kind of local, kind of not. It's getting national attention. But a top LA Democrat resigns after comparing black child to being a monkey in leaked racist audio. The way that these people talk with their colleagues, these Democrat politicians, and I know Republicans talk inappropriate as well behind closed doors. Everybody does it. Hell, they've been doing it since the founding of this country, saying inappropriate things. You can find them in Adams' letters to Jefferson and others. But why would you ever say this? I mean, why would you think this is ever okay to talk with your colleagues about it? Don't even get me started in your personal life, but it's just wrong. And there's some major backlash, and rightfully so. Democrat Martinez resigned as president of the Los Angeles City Council on Monday, one day after a racist leaked audio recording was released. You would think, hey, she resigned from her position. She's like ousted. She's not a council member anymore. No. Martinez issued a statement regarding her resignation as a council president, although she will remain a council member. She said this, quote, I take responsibility for what I said, and there's no excuses for those comments. I'm sorry. Well, you kind of got to take responsibility because you're caught red-handed on tape. Okay? This is like Hunter Biden getting done snipping Cheez-Its or cocaine off a rug and being video recorded while doing it, going, I guess I gotta take responsibility. Well, yeah, you're on tape, buddy. So, hey, at least she's taking responsibility for something that she did. You gotta give credit where credit's due, I suppose. It's minimal credit, but credit nonetheless. Martinez and Councilman Kevin De Leon faced widespread protests and calls for their resignation after they were caught on the recording making racist comments about council member Mike Bonin, a gay white man, and his adopted black son. The conversation also included Los Angeles County Federation of Labor President Ron Herrera. The meeting was largely focused on redistricting the city, which happens once a decade. Here's the quote. I sincerely apologize to the people I hurt with my words, to my colleagues, their families, especially to Mike, Sean, and your son. As a mother, I know better and I am sorry. I know this is a result of my own actions. I'm sorry to your entire family for putting you through this. While discussing Bonin, Martinez called his son, I can't even pronounce this first word, but the second one is Chunguito or something like that. Or I've never even heard of that before. Or, quote, he's a monkey. Soon after, she later referred to Bonin as a little B and said he is raising his son like a little white kid. Why would you ever say that? That's just an odd thing to say to any colleague or coworker, let alone even in your personal life to somebody. That's a little weird. Now, we call people little Bs and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But it's an odd thing to even say towards, again, another colleague or somebody else. It's really weird. Martinez admitted that her actions fell short of her goal to empower communities of color. Quote, as someone who believes deeply in the empowerment of communities of color, I recognize my comments undercut that goal. Going forward, reconciliation will be my priority. I have reached out to many of my black colleagues and other black leaders to express my regret in order for us to heal. The recorded conversation included Martinez remarking about Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gascon after his name was mentioned. F that guy, Martinez said. He's with the blacks. Now, I'm all for F that guy, but I'm not for kind of going in like he's with the blacks. Again, it's weird messaging. I don't understand what he's talking about here. I'm not a fan of George Gascon. I've mentioned that numerous amounts of times. This guy doesn't prosecute anybody. If you love crime, you're going to love Gascon because he ain't going to do nothing about it. Very similar to what we're seeing with Lori Lightfoot. George Gascon sucks. I don't know about that whole he's with the black things. That doesn't make sense to me. But hell, again, I'm not within everything, the whole mingling of what's going on in LA and behind closed doors and all this stuff. Weird thing to say. Bonin issued a statement Sunday calling for the city council to remove Martinez as president. We are appalled, angry, and absolutely disgusted that Miss Martinez attacked our son with horrific racist slurs and talked about her desire to physically harm him. Rightfully so to be appalled. Rightfully so, you're angry. I would be too. Racist slurs are not okay in any setting. It's wrong. And you're attacking some guy's son, which is off-putting as it is. Even if there wasn't any racial slurs involved, it is wrong to attack another colleague's son. The little guy didn't have anything to do with anything. He's just there trying to live his life. Bonin wrote in a statement on Twitter, it's vile, abhorrent, and utterly disgraceful. Yes, you're absolutely correct. It very much so is. De Leon also issued an apology on Sunday regarding his own comments. Quote, there were comments made in context of this morning that are wholly inappropriate and I regret appearing to condone and even contribute to certain insensitive comments made about a colleague and his family in private. I've reached out to that colleague personally, he said. On that day, I fell short of the expectations we set for our leaders, and I will hold myself to a higher standard. Here's the real question. If this was caught on audio and you're just talking to your colleagues like this, it really makes you wonder what was said even before all of these conversations. Like, what kind of things have you said about your colleagues before, or other council members, or maybe even the district attorney, George Gascon, or what have you said about Republicans? Now, to be fair on the whole Republican issue, we're used to them calling us racist, sexist, bigots, homophobes, whatever it is. They get away with it. But when it's about their own colleagues, then everybody comes out up in arms. And again, I think they should come out up in arms. It's a wrong thing to say, racially wrong, inappropriate, discriminative. I mean, again, all of this is wrong. I'm not even going to bother playing the recording. It's out there if y'all want to listen to it. That was a nutshell, but inappropriate behavior coming from Democrats in Los Angeles. I want to say I'm shocked, but I'm not at all. These people, folks, are running the city into the ground. As I've said many of times on the show, we have a quarter of the homeless population in Los Angeles County. The nation's homeless population, 1/4 of it is in LA County. These folks don't care. These folks don't care at all. California doesn't care. They can't fathom why gas prices are through the roof, our homeless population's through the roof, we're a sanctuary city, our illegal immigration's through the roof. All sorts of things are just driving the state right into the ground. Now, Moving into our second story of the day before I start coughing up a storm on this episode. And thank you again so much for joining me. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, folks. I love how you support the show. We got the best Bald Brad viewers. Our community is awesome. And you all know that. I talk about it all the time. I read all your comments. So leave me a comment down below. Just because I don't comment back doesn't mean I don't read it. I have an app on my phone and all I do is swipe, swipe, swipe and read all your comments. And I absolutely love it. Some of you guys are a little out of control, okay? And I'm for some of them. Some of you guys are a little dicey with what you write, a little bit of crazy. But nonetheless, write the free speech. Say what you want. Our second story of the day here is Ricky Gervais and has 2 words when asked about hosting 2023 Golden Globes. I love this guy when he hosts because he rips the celebrities a new one. All these elites that think they're above everybody else are getting ripped a new bumhole, folks, by Ricky Gervais. He's hosted it multiple times. He's done a fabulous job. He pissed a lot of people off because, look, you can't make fun of them. If you make fun of them, all of a sudden you're the bad guy because they're supposed to be untouchable. They're different than us. You see, folks, they're up here. You're just another peasant, and you're just down at the bottoms in the freaking swamps while they're in the castle eating good. So Ricky Gervais responded with 2 words on Sunday afternoon after someone on Twitter suggested that comedian host the 2023 Golden Globe Awards show. Now, do you think he's going to host it or do you think he's not going to host it? And I'll help you kind of have a little bit of a guess here. Based on what you saw with Chris Rock and Will Smith, what you see with all these hosts like Kevin, I forget his last name, he's kind of the short guy, he's a black guy, Kevin Hart, being ousted and having to apologize multiple times for things he said and done in the past. Do you think Ricky Gervais is going to want to do it? I'll tell you what he said. He said, F that. That was his tweet. F that with a emoji of a laughing / crying face because he's hysterically laughing. F that, the 61-year-old British actor tweeted along with a crying / laughing emoji face in response to a tweet that read, if you wish, at Ricky Gervais would host the Golden Globes again in 2023, basically asking people to retweet it. The post also included just a smidge of the hilariously brutal NSFW, not safe for work, comments he made during his performance in 2020 when he was the MC of the annual show. Best host of the Golden Globes by far. Earlier this year, the Office star reportedly told an audience in London that he wouldn't have made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head if he had hosted the Oscars, but would have made wisecracks about her boyfriend instead. Quote, I'll get it out of the way, the Ghost Town star shared. I have not got any Will Smith material. I trended when that happened and I was not even there. What has it got to do with me? He added. People were going, what would have happened if Ricky Gervais had been doing it, hosting Oscars? That's a great question because Ricky Gervais, I felt went way harder in the paint when he hosted the Golden Globes compared to Chris Rock in terms of what he said at the Oscars. And it's all a joke. But again, because these people are so caught up in their own head, in their own realm, that they are not even capable anymore of actually seeing how other people live. That's why California is so different, because we're so stuck in our own milieu that we don't realize how actual middle America lives. You see this in the border states as well, in terms of the coastal areas like New York City. They're so caught up in their own realm. That's why they vote for the things they vote for. And they're so confused that when it starts going south, they can't fathom it. In the same way, Will Smith struggled fathoming that people were giving him backlash of him slapping Chris Rock on live TV across the face because he's lived up here for so long. He's been so far removed from kind of the base of just general America and how people live and how people are treated that he was struggling, that he couldn't fathom that people were giving pushback at all. Well, nothing as I would not have made a joke about his wife's hair, Gervais continued. I would have made a joke about her boyfriend. The Afterlife star famously hosted the Golden Globes 5 times, and his opening monologue from 2020 going viral after he took a sledgehammer to celebrities and big tech companies for their hypocrisy. The uncensored monologue from the 2020 Golden Globes has been seen below with cuts from Gervais's No Holds Bar segment, and he did not hold back, folks. To open the show, Gervais said it would be the last time he planned to host the Golden Globes or any award shows, sharing that he doesn't care anymore. I'm joking, I never did. I'm joking, I never did. NBC clearly don't care either. 5th time. I mean, Kevin Hart was fired from the Oscars for some offensive tweets. Hello? He closed out the segment by telling stars not to use the platform to make a political speech, noting that they weren't in any position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. Screw you. You guys are going to blow up the world. I love Ricky Gervais. So if you win, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and F off, okay? I love Ricky Gervais. I do wish he would host at 2023, but I get that he doesn't want to, and who would want to host anymore? That's why they get all these leftist liberals now hosting these award shows and saying they're still their political comments, going after the right, global warming this, climate change that, pushing their agenda. They're going to continue to do it here. So unfortunately, as of now, Ricky Gervais is not going to host 2023, and I'd be surprised if you don't really see any good comedians hosting any award shows anymore, because all it is backlash. Nothing but having to apologize for something you said 20 years ago or 30 years or 50 or 40 years. Look, they went after John Wayne. The guy's been dead. I mean, they're literally going after dead people. So why the hell would you put yourself in the spotlight like that and even bother doing it? Because some dude in his mom's basement, some progressive leftist snowflake, is going to dig up some old tweet or some old thing you did and try to bring it about, make you apologize for it again, as if nobody's ever done anything wrong in their entire life. The progressive left is so toxic with this country. I'm so tired of them. They got nothing better to do. They can't make their own life better, so they got to go dig up and go after guys. Dead guys or not, they're constantly going after other people rather than making their own perfectionist lives better. They got to go again after people like Ricky Gervais, Kevin Hart, and others. Rather than, why don't you pick on your own people like maybe Will Smith? Y'all gave him a standing ovation after he won the Oscars. I'm part of the SAG Awards, or at least part of the Screen Actors Guild, I should say. I wouldn't have stand for him. I'm never going to see one of those guys' movies again. Unless he fixes his tune, he apologized, but it didn't seem legit to me. I can rant and rave about this for freaking hours. But there you have it. Ricky Gervais ain't going to do it, so we lost another good host. Kevin Hart's not going to do anything anymore. He was asked to do the Oscars. He ain't doing it again. Chris Rock, that guy ain't doing the Oscars ever again as well. So everything's just going down in the dumps, which I know all of you aren't surprised with. As always, folks, like I said, a little bit of a shortened show. We made it through without coughing. That's pretty good. That deserves a like right there. And again, if you want to join us here, we got an awesome community on the Bald Brad channel. We are growing. We hit over 16,000. The goal now is 20,000 by the end of this year. Originally, folks, just to put in perspective, my goal was 10,000. I thought that was an ambitious goal. I was like, there's no way I'm going to hit 10,000. We're about to double that. If we hit 20,000, my head's going to spin. We are growing here at the Bald Brad Show, and it's all thanks to you for putting the time and the effort to hit that like and subscribe button, leaving me a comment down below, and watching each and every video. Folks, I'll see you tomorrow here on the Bald Brad Show.